2025 is starting out in a way that I did not want it to start out. After this game that just happened with the New York Giants and Philly, and of course losing and keeping their draft capital, I wanted to see John Mara and Mr. Tisch make a distinct decision. At the very least, Joe Schoen should have been shown his walking papers. This fucking clown has fucked this team's program up. And all we are on is a road of fuck-ups. I don't know who we had first. Was it fucking Schumer, then McAdoo, then Joe Judge, and now these two fucking clowns. And now we're into almost 14 years of nothingness, of shit. I just got finished watching ESPN with Orlovsky and Schechter and Ryan and the other brother. Right now I'm so fucking mad I can't remember shit. But I do know this, that if you're a New York Football Giants fan for 42 plus years like me, then you know that our greatest teams have been built behind a very powerful defense, all right? A workman offense, really solid pass-catching tight ends, because that's part of the NFC East and part of the whole winning program that you got to have. And now I think it's even more so than ever before in some kind of ways. I'm seeing tight ends utilized basically in wide receiver patterns that in years past, tight end didn't get a pass further than fucking 5 yards, 7 yards, 8 yards. Now, we got a situation where you could throw a 23-yard pass to a tight end on a regular basis, crossing routes, go routes, down the middle. And the one fucking guy who does not fucking do it is the guy who's a tight ends coach that we're keeping as the head coach, and Brian fucking Dabol. And meanwhile, Joe Schoen, and your thinking as a GM, do you know the history of the Giants? Do you know that a lot of times you've got to kind of follow that program, that stamp? That's why you got rid of Dexter Lawrence. That's why you got rid of Williams. That's why you got rid of Xavier McKinney. That's why you got rid of Saquon Barkley, 60% of your offense. And now we got to rely on you to give us a good program. And now that you made this decision, John Mara, now what? If they fuck up again, do you now fire them? Because everyone's going to say to you, well, motherfucker, why'd you fire him last year? They have done nothing but give you a 9-7-1, then turn around and give $160 million of your money to a guy that's no fucking good, that's a second stringer in Minnesota, doesn't finish out the season, and you have nothing to show for this shit that you got here. I have nothing to look forward to but the players in the locker room. That's the only thing I got now. That certain guys there may keep this bowl of jello dog shit together because they still continue to play for each other and with each other. Pardon me, that's pretty clear. But they weren't playing for Shane, and they definitely, it's questionable they were playing for Dabol. There's articles from 2 weeks ago saying the Dabols had lost the locker room 3 weeks ago. So now we look forward to the same pencil-pushing, geekazoid fuckhead that Shane is, that probably never played a down of football as himself. He's a fucking corporate fucking file-shuffling fuckhead. Because if you understood the Giants, if you understood players, there's no motherfucking way you would have made the moves that you've made. All of them suck. What good thing has Shane done but the obvious thing that his son knew to tell him while he was flicking the ball on the couch on Hard Knocks, Malik Neighbors or the other kid that ended up going to Arizona. What was his name? I'm telling you, I'm so fucking mad right now at how pathetic the New York Giants have become. For no fucking reason, but our leadership doesn't fucking listen. And I hope they fly planes. I hope they drop leaflets on your ass. And that's another thing. You know, I have been watching the Giants from a distance. I'm not a season ticket holder. But can you imagine being a season ticket holder and you just suffered through Schumer, then McAdoo, then Judge, then fucking Shane and Dabols, and now they're saying they're going to keep him. Now, I read one article where the guy said, if the Giants keep Shane and Dabol, they got to keep him for another 3 years. That means we're going to be possibly going into 18 years of not getting shit and being lame and mediocre and not what the New York Giants are supposed to be, with a powerful fucking face punch defense. And nowadays, you could have an offense that's as equally face punching if you get quarterbacks that don't come from fucking Duke. They come from regular, top-notch programs. And meanwhile, you got Jalen Daniels, who has all the upside potential in the world. The whole team is rallying around him. I'm sitting and listening to Zach Ertz, who's been in the league for 12, 13 years, been in the East because he played for Philly, talking about how much of a leader this guy is. Can you even evaluate talent? Shane, do you know what leadership is? Because you're not leadership. You suck. And now I'm stuck with you. So now, you better fucking pull something out of your ass. Because I'm saying to every New York Giant fan, whether you're a season ticket holder or not, if these motherfuckers do what they've done over the last 3 years, short of the playoff game the year before last or whatever that was now, it's a distant fucking memory, do not show up. We'll take the whole fucking year off. And when you're sitting there, John Mara, with one clown on one side and your other clown on the other side, and the stadium is fucking empty, you will finally get the message that you need to bring in strong football people, like Louis Riddick for your GM, like Brian Flores for your fucking head coach, like asking Steve Spagnuolo to come back and be a head coach for the Giants. Michael Strahan is your GM with Spags. Now that's a program I can get behind, you stupid fuck. I'm so sick of y'all don't know what to fucking do. Got all this fucking Giant gear, I can't even walk out of the house with it on. And you motherfuckers are making millions of dollars and making bad decisions. I can make better decisions than the both of you guys. Oh, let's line them up in an I formation. Here's Dabol's I formation. Oh, we got to keep all the tight ends in to max protect. No, well, if you move the pocket and let the fucking tight end chip off of the guy early in the game, then you could throw a fucking shallow pass to the tight end and start moving people around a little bit and not have the same expectation of the same look, Dabols. And now we stuck with your ass again. We got to have a fucking phenomenal motherfucker that we get, because otherwise all we're going to do is look like the trash we always look with a better quarterback that's probably running for his life. And I don't know how the fuck the Giant coaching staff and offensive coordinators and motherfucking line coaches and shit don't know how to teach motherfuckers how to block. How our offense, our tight ends and our wide receivers, when they're going downfield on plays, don't know how to block downfield. You say you have these robust practices, but we have nothing to show for it. So yeah, I'm fucking mad as fuck because I gotta be stuck looking at these two motherfuckers again. And I have to tell you that the only thing that gives me a tiny bit of comfort is that Thibodeau spoke in behalf of Coach Dabols. But ain't nobody speaking on behalf of Shane. I got to know the whole club thinks you the stupidest motherfucker in the world to get rid of Saquon Barkley. And yeah, if it was up to me and Coach Sirianni is a fucking Philadelphia cheese-eating asshole, you would have put him in there and let him beat fucking Eric Dickerson's record. And fuck you, Eric Dickerson, for not wanting to beat the record. Oh my God. I'm disgusted with this bullshit. And I have zero hope because data is what makes you make decisions about shit. And what is it about Shane or Dabols will make you think you're going to win more than 5 to 7 games for the next 3 years if you keep them on staff for the next 3 years? And right now I'm so disgusted, and I don't even want to say it out loud, but I'm going to say it anyway. I hope we go fucking 2-15. Just so I can look at your dumb ass next year at this time and say, see there, I fucking told you so. Who you gonna get now for your next quarterback, you stupid fucks? Some guy from fucking Rhode Island in some Division III school that has 2 broke legs? And then you're gonna pay him $200 million? Stupid ass. Fucking Shane. I gotta look at Shane's fucking Droop. He reminds me of a modern day version of Droopy from the Droopy cartoon back in the day. I don't know. Yeah, that's right. You don't fucking know. All right. Let's talk about Detroit. Let's talk about some of these games that happened. Let me talk about something that makes me happy. And I wish I could squint my eyes and put this motherfucker in a blue uniform for his attitude. Motherfucking Baker Mayfield. Baker, the touchdown maker. They're talking about him on the show and talking about how he's got a chip on his shoulder. What I wouldn't give to have a motherfucker with a chip on the shoulder, with the whole team lining up behind it, with the fucking coaching staff lining behind it, with the GM lining up behind it. How great it would be to have somebody that they think, you know what, this is exactly the attitude the Giants have always had. To make it to where no one expects you to make it. It happened in 2007. It happened in 2010. Should have happened in 2012. Shit. We went 12-4. We got to hope for the best. But if we keep these 2 motherfuckers, and now he's made this decision, put this official statement out, hope and pray for the best, expect the worst out of these 2 motherfuckers. And if they start having fucking losing games and all this bullshit and stumbling and fumbling, I beg the New York Giant faithful to just come over to your TV and click, turn them off. They don't get the watches. You go outside and that whole motherfucking multi-billion-dollar parking lot facility is empty. This is what really, in all honesty, across the board, a lot of these American companies need to have happen to them. Shitty ass insurance companies that always fuck us over. Fucking pharma that always fucks us over. And when we try to get a little enjoyment in the midst of all this real shit that's happening to people, we can't even get any enjoyment from our own fucking people. We can't get no enjoyment because we got to have the same fuckhead making the same fucking mistakes and getting a paycheck for it. Can you imagine just being a complete walking, talking clusterfuck at your job and they say, hey, you did a shitty ass job. We suck. Sales are down. Here's your bonus. Here's your paycheck. No, motherfucker. All right. I think I got most of it out. I want to wish the very best to all the people that I follow on the channel. I want to wish the very best. Hold on, I got a little something over here. Had this shirt for a very long time. Shout out to my boys in Springfield, taking care of business, keeping us safe. I appreciate all of y'all that followed the channel through 24. I hope you will continue in 2025. I apologize for people for my language, but I'm passionate about the New York Football Giants, and I want to see them win some games. And we're up against it now. But Daniels being as good as he is and what they built there, you know what they got with the Eagles. What our former running back looking better than they broke records for the Eagles in 1 year. Thanks, Joe Shane, for making them look so good. Meanwhile, we got Dallas, which again, you know, from a geographical point of view, somebody fucking please explain to me how Dallas is even in our division, how we're this with division. But you know, I wouldn't change it now because I hate fucking Dallas so fucking much. The only motherfuckers I hate more than Dallas right now is the two motherfuckers they decided to fucking keep. And I want to see what we're going to get. Because as soon as you start fucking up, I'm going to be in your ass. I'm going to be waiting for your next dumbass decision to make. What will it be? What will it fucking be? Ugh. Suck. You make me sick. And now I'm stuck with you again. But yeah, John, you did this to us too. You know, feeling sorry for Daniel Jones and saying this kid's been through so much, you know, we got to give him a chance. Okay, give him a chance. You give him a franchise tag. He shits the bed. Then the next year, he makes it to the playoff. Okay, well, we don't have enough information about you to see what else is going on. So let's franchise tag you again and keep all our other guys. If you had enough sense to do that alone, right now, we might be sitting at, say, finishing 9-8 with still being in the hunt right now. Saquon, Xavier McKinney, Leonard Williams from the year before. Fucking talented people that fit into the framework of what the Giants are supposed to be. You got rid of them all. So what can I expect from you based on what I've seen you do? That whoever's the strongest, most leadership motherfuckers, you're going to deal them out like a dealer meal so that you can, what, save money, but then bring in mediocre veterans that don't do shit. Well, now I can just sit back and we'll talk about what's going to happen in the playoffs. I'm still going to continue to put content, even though the regular season over with. You know, you don't get to go get your golf clubs, Joe Shane. You might want to bring in your young son because I think he's 10 times smarter about talent than you. And if whatever he says, write it down with a crayon, you stupid fuck. And Dabol, you were the former tight end coach. Utilize your tight ends. Have a game plan that doesn't look like the vanilla bullshit that I've seen you do this whole fucking time you've been here. You got to move the pocket sometime, motherfucker. Doesn't matter who you have as a quarterback. If you're going to do the same thing, oh, I'm standing here, Mississippi 1, Mississippi 2, Stupid! I think about you. I think about all these games and how much we suck. I think about you calling a flea flicker on 3rd and 1. I think about you not utilizing Daniel Bellinger this whole time and then have the audacity to throw the football to him at the end of the fucking game of the 4th quarter of the last game of the season. Ah, idiot. And now John Milquetoast, lukewarm cream of wheat Mara, oh, I'm going to keep them. We got a cacophony of different types of droopies. John Mara's a droopy. Dabol looks like a droopy with a pencil behind his ear. Shane looks pathetically droopy, sitting by himself up in the skybox, and no one wants to sit around him because you're a fucking pariah. And now you get to stay and collect another multi-million-dollar check off of what? Off of what? Okay, we're going to see. We're going to fucking see. Oof. Man, I thought I was off of them, and all of a sudden it came back up into my body again. Shit, they make me so fucking mad. My God, what are you doing, man? What are you fucking doing? Huh? You don't know what the fuck you're doing. All I can do is pray that the players have such a powerful personality and energy amongst them going into the new year that somehow or another, with the right quarterback pick, and try to build something from the bottom. But I don't trust Shane to make good choices. I trust him to fucking make poor choices. And I don't trust Dabol to incentivize the gamemanship of the intensity of it. I'm watching these locker room celebrations with Coach Campbell and these other teams that won, and there's an energy that's there, you know? And, you know, I just don't see that you could generate that energy. You know, I guess maybe you could say it when we went with the 97, we went 5-2. You know, in those first 7 games, you know, you were 5-0. You know, so, but again, you know, it was really defensive plays in a lot of ways that put us in that spot. And now you got rid of one of the guys that helped you to do that with 2 of them, and Xavier McKinney and Williams. So I don't know what's going to happen. My beautiful girlfriend just told me that ChatGPT has predicted that Detroit Lions will win the Super Bowl. And they'll win it against Buffalo because Buffalo will eliminate KC. I would love to see that happen. I would love to see 2 teams who have not won a Super Bowl. And I would tell you, I would be rooting for both of these teams simultaneously. I love what they've done in Buffalo. And I think they're arguably better than they've ever been since Dabol and Shane are not there. So I'll say that to you as well. So Buffalo went 4 years in a row back in the day. 2 times against the Cowboys, once against the Giants. I want to say the other team was either Frisco or Green Bay. Lost all 4 of them in a row. How do you have a team that's so good in the 90s with Thurman Thomas, with Bruce Smith, with the great Jim Kelly, really incredible, great players. Andre, he was the wideout. Andre, they were an amazing squad, very powerful. Just like that, a hair's breadth away from getting a Super Bowl. And now you could have this possibility of this great historical moment where Buffalo finally gets back to the Super Bowl again and lose against Detroit. That would be a bitter pill to swallow for Buffalo fans. But I know one thing. You got to be happy if you're on with programs where you're still in the hunt, or if you're in, you know, even if you got to go on the road. The Giants have been road dogs in both of their times when they did it. I'm happy that, you know, super championships in the NFL are extremely hard to come by. So, you know, if you happen to have a winning program but you don't make it to the championship, you should count yourself lucky, you know, than to be a part of 7 or 8 teams that are all 3-14 like we are. And in a division that is doing relatively well. Even the Cowboys, they almost made it to 8-8, you know what I'm saying? Which you have to be happy with that. But to have year after year just such a poor set of circumstances. And I also would wonder if John Mara should be more concerned about the condition on the field and how it may be contributing to injuries to players because you don't have natural grass out there. But that's a conversation for another day. At any rate, again, I want to say thank you to everybody, guys that I follow. Fifth Unit, I haven't seen you, just completely disappeared. Maybe it's because of the algorithm or what they're doing. Kid Blue, love your show. Chad Sports, I don't necessarily agree with some of your analysis or some of your thoughts. You know, I don't want to see some retread guy. And as good as Sam Darnold played, I wouldn't want to see a guy like Sam Darnold over a young, powerful, top-notch draft pick as the quarterback. You know, do you want to get somebody that is in that area for your backup and maybe teach the kids some stuff? Yes. But at the end of the day, you got to come in now as a quarterback pick and you have to make it happen immediately. And, you know, Jaden Daniels, you know, guys like that have raised the bar on what the expectation will be for a draft picks coming forward that are quarterback draft picks. So let's just face that as a fact of the land as well. Be interesting to see about this overseas thing. I suspect and smell that that NFL has a long-range plan for trying to make it more of an international sport. I could see that happening maybe down the road. I think you might have to create a redundancy in leagues, which you kind of have already with NFL Europe. You know, I like the fact that what you had USFL and the other group kind of merged together, and that's going to start. So we'll still get to be able to have a little bit of football action. I think that's going to be a spot where people who raise to the top in that league will end up maybe making their way over to play as free agents in the NFL. So, you know, I'm not a fan of Roger Goodell at all. You know, Roger Goodell, to me, is like a Joe Shane on steroids. A pencil-pushing, paper smacking fuck that never did anything, doesn't care about anything but his paycheck, and is going to make decisions and moves that are not player-oriented, they're corporate-oriented, you know? So you're a corporate guy. Whatever, dude. You make $64 million a year to be a shitty person to me. I watched you in one of these events they had on the East Coast where they had kids talking and, you know, you got your different NFL initiatives. You looked so fucking bored and out of place and did not want to be there. It shows you that you don't have any humanity. And I'm hoping for all of the world, whether it's with wars and fighting, that we find our humanity and do the right thing. So whether it's on a small scale with my football team in the United States, or if it's all the way the whole world, we need to find our humanity and treat other human beings with decency. That means you pay them, Joe Shane, when you have somebody like Saquon Barkley and don't diss them, and then go on a fucking program on HBO and expose the corporate pencil-pushing, paper-shuffling fuckhead that you are. So yeah, see how I brought it all back around? You like that? Anyway, it's mid-afternoon, it's 2025, and we got these two fucking guys. So to those guys, those two dudes, here's my special New York salute. Joe Shane, boom. Dabols, boom. And for you, John Mara, for making this decision, boom, boom. Prove me wrong, because I'll be more than happy to come on here and say, you know what? I'm glad you stuck with these guys. They have turned the whole ship around, and we have hope. I hope to God that this time, next year, on this date, I have to say that. I pray for it. But you and I both know, based on the data, that's highly unlikely. highly unlikely. If you ran this through Chat GPT, they said the likelihood is maybe 16% that could get it done. But we'll see, John Mara. It's your team and you own it. You say you care about the fans and you keep these two bumps. I don't believe it. You know, I think maybe you might need to shuffle off to the sunset too. You know what I mean? And we get maybe a strong corporate billionaire that comes from the New York area that loves the New York Giants. You know, maybe we'll get something like what Philly got with Jeff Lurie. You know, a younger man that seems like he has some balls and is ready to do some shit. I'm disappointed. Anyway, that's it. Salute 2025. Hope and pray the New York Football Giants can get their shit together along with the rest of the world. Pray for the world because I don't know. Things don't look good, but we got to keep hope alive. So here's to the New York Football Giants. To all your wonderful fans. Oh yeah, that's the entertainer. Bad Dog Sports, I haven't seen you. Chuck Knox, I'll rock with you forever. Listen, the very best to all y'all in 2025. Let's get this shit done, okay? Deuces.